All rise.
This is Deeper Than Money. Talk to me. I want viewers watching my show to believe in themselves.
Judge Hatchett is compelling.
If he is not going to honor you, he needs to be gone.
Compassionate.
I don't want you to give up on your dreams. I don't. And I want to figure out how we get this straight.
She's powerful.
If I were in this situation, I would have put you out too.
And she's on the bench.
I feel like I'm being judged here.
That's what I do.
You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Adam Chen is suing Tom McCall in the amount of $3,000. Mr. Chen claims the opening night for his play was delayed due to a faulty fuse box and says the defendant refused to reimburse him for the cost of the repair.
We have a case here where you are suing the defendant for some $3,000. Explain to me what happened, please.
Yes. Your Honor, my name is Adam Chen. I'm 35 years old. I've been living in Missoula, Montana for 5 years. In the past, I was a New York-based Broadway playwright.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I've had a successful career in the big city, but I have a young family with my wife and my 4-year-old daughter. I feel the city is a bit too much for us, so I wanted to have a more peaceful life.
All right, so now you are here in my courtroom and you're saying that the defendant caused property damage.
That's correct.
So tell me what happened, please.
Yes, so I've been working for a couple of years with this local theater company, the Wilma Theater, based in Missoula, and I've had numerous shows which were successful with them in the past. And currently, I'm working on my newest musical, Starlight Encounters.
Is this something that you wrote, produced, directed? What are you doing? What is this?
All three, actually.
All three?
I am very involved in my creative process.
Clearly. Exciting.
Mm-hmm. It's inspired by my daughter. She's very near to me. She loves space. She's always on her telescope. So I dedicate this to her. It's a play about a girl who will get abducted by aliens to solve the global war, the Galaxy War, and she'll help find world peace for everyone in the universe.
So I understand from the complaint that you hired Tom to do some work at the theater.
Correct.
So, Tom, are you an electrician? Is that my understanding?
No, I am not an electrician. That's actually part of my argument. I am not an electrician. He stated that he was on Broadway. I just want to mention, he's not on Broadway anymore. This isn't even off-Broadway. This isn't even off-Broadway. He's used to houses that charge $300, $400, $500, $600 a seat. Our houses charge $20 a seat. He doesn't seem to understand this is an entirely different world. We have different auspices that we have to work under. He had been assuming that I was an electrician, and I made it clear to him from the get-go that is not my purview. My area of expertise is the lighting console, the lights, and the relationship or the wiring between the two, period, that's it. So a quick answer to your question, Your Honor, is I am not an electrician.
Is it fair to say that you're the lighting director?
Yes.
That's what you do. So
Yes.
when they have these theatrical productions at this particular theater, you are responsible for staging the lighting.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we've got the director, we've got the composer, we've got the producer on one side, and we have the lighting director on another side in this lawsuit in my courtroom. So I need to know what happened.
Yes. So in the production of my new play, it's a very VFX and lighting-heavy play. There's lots of alien fights, FBI chases. The grand finale will have our main heroine get abducted by aliens to solve the crisis in the universe.
Okay.
And all of that requires lots of lights and special effects. And I have the same sentiment as you. We need the lights so our actors and our audience, they're fully immersed in the experience.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's like a half-assed job, we can't do our show properly.
I agree.
So I did some calls through the Montana art scene, and one name kept coming up, Tom McCall, Tom McCall, Tom McCall. And they're like saying, this guy is your lighting guy for your show. So I called Mr. McCall.
So you hadn't worked with him before.
I have not.
But Tom, you have done lighting at this theater before, but you haven't worked with him before.
Correct,
Is that right?
yeah, correct.
All right. So you call him up because people say he's the person.
Yeah, he's the Montana
He
light
is the
guy.
person. Right.
Yes.
And I would think, Tom, I mean, not to say anything negative about Montana, but I would think that there are a lot of people who do what you do in Montana.
Not as well.
I like that. Okay. All right. Not as well. But it's not like you go to New York and you've got a lot of people who do this professionally. I would think that there are not a lot of people who do what you do.
Well, I
that
like to
fair?
think of myself as a small fish or a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah,
rather.
that's what I'm thinking.
And he kind of alluded to the fact that he's been working, I believe he says 5 years in the Missoula area. Well, I think you can see that there's a little bit, maybe a lot more than a little bit of age difference. I've been there for 20 years, so I have a lot more experience in the theater community. I've only been working at the Wilma for about a year, but I've been in other theaters in the whole area for years and years and years. I have never been involved in a situation like this, not one iota of a problem from any director, producer, never a problem, let alone being sued. I've literally never been in a courtroom before in my life.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
He told me that the electrical system couldn't handle it, but before that, when I discussed the plans for this play, he said that we could perfectly enact everything like...
Not true.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Adam Chen, who is suing Tom McCall for negligence.
So let's get to what happened that causes this lawsuit.
So in our first rehearsal of my musical, the lights, they were acting up. They were flickering. They shut off during the rehearsal. And I asked Mr. McCall what was happening. The big finale requires the audience to feel like they're seeing an alien abducting the hero. And he told me that the electrical system couldn't handle it. But before that, when I discussed the plans for this play, he said that we could perfectly enact everything like...
Not true.
The play had the capacity to handle the special effects of my vision.
Okay,
true.
so hold it right there. So
Not true.
before you contracted
Yes.
him to do this for the production, to be the lighting director for the production, you explained to him your concept. Is that right?
I had the script, I had detailed sketches of what we should do with the lights and the staging, and we decided...
But you all met.
Correct.
All right, and so in that meeting, what happened?
Well, he just said that I said we can perfectly enact it. That is absolutely not true, and I have evidence, Your Honor, if I can show you
If you will
these,
share that with
these
me, please.
texts, please. Thank you. So our first discussion was via phone.
All right.
And he told me what his vision was, and I told him at that time that it's an old building. I told him from the get-go that I am not an electrician, but I think because of the age of the building, it's an old building, I think it would really tax the wattage and the power output of the building. I told him from the get-go. When we met and he showed me, he presented me the script and all that stuff, I repeated it. I was very consistent. I never backed off from that. So from the very first moment we met and talked over the phone, et cetera, like I said, been very consistent, very adamant that his vision might have to be downplayed a little bit, at least in terms of lighting, because our theater would not be capable of that power out, of the wattage.
So in everyday language, what you're saying to me is that the electrical system in the theater was not at the capacity to do what he wanted. Is that a fair assessment?
That was
It was too much.
That was my belief at the time. Again, I'm not an electrician.
Right.
Again, my purview is just
Right.
the
The
console
lighting.
and the lights. But because it's an old building and because I was aware of issues with the fuse box, which I did present to the board, that I thought it could possibly be an issue.
All right, so I see part of the exchange that says, I get that. You were saying the lights weren't giving the actors the opportunity, this is yours. The lights were not giving the actors the opportunity to have the best performance. It doesn't shock him enough, all right? And then your response is, I get that, but the lights looked fine in the last rehearsal, and it's a very old building. We should refrain from adding more lights to avoid any further problems,
Yep.
right? So then what happens?
I feel with my experience being on such large stages, it's very important to me to ensure excellence in the art.
Right?
I'm bringing jobs to the people of Missoula, the stagehands,
Right?
the craftspeople, the actors. People come to our city to watch our shows.
I get that. But now we're talking about this performance,
Yes.
and we have a lighting director who has said, I don't think that the system in this old building is capable of doing exactly what it is that you want done in the performance, and he is suggesting an alternative.
That's correct. So I'm not an electrician myself, but I trust the technical director to be a master in all things technical and electrical.
Right, I get that.
So-
Well, no, that's not quite fair. And let's be clear that he is not an electrician, which is why I asked at the beginning. I'm saying, I'm trying to get some clarity. Are you an electrician? And he was very clear to define what his role is. He says, we should refrain, I want to say this again, from adding more lights to avoid any problems.
Understand.
So, did you insist that more lights be added to this situation?
I did, Your Honor. I feel that it's very important to the show.
Okay.
But I do believe that he could have, he has the contacts and the expertise to contact an electrician or a gaffer to ensure that the theater is properly equipped for the show.
Well, wait a minute. You're saying something that's totally beyond his responsibility.
Coming up,
And again, that is out of my purview of expertise. I am not licensed, bonded, or any way in whatsoever to fix a fuse box or to change out a fuse box.
I get that.
next time on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
My contract with the theater as the producer makes me liable for damages during the show. I tried to seek relief by interacting with the theater's insurance company.
Right, because you know that was going to be my question.
Yes. The problem is that the theater has not maintained their lights for the past 15 years, which is required by the insurance policy.
Oh my goodness.
Next time on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
Because of the theater or the defendant's negligence, I'm responsible for paying $3,000 out of pocket.
I just want to mention, he's not on Broadway anymore. This isn't even off Broadway. This isn't even off Broadway.
You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Adam Chen, who is suing Tom McCall for negligence.
What you're saying is then, I want it to be at this level. He's saying it could be at this level, and you're saying, well, it's his responsibility to get with somebody to make sure that the electrician and the system can handle it this level. That's not his responsibility. So something happened because you're suing for $3,000. What ended up happening?
So during Tech Week, I chose to dim the lights. It was during Tech Week. It was, I believe, our last rehearsal before the show, and I chose to dim the lights thinking that that might possibly be a solution. It's a standard procedure. I've done that many times in the past. It's always worked in the past at the Wilma and at other theaters. So I thought that I would do that. That should work out just fine. Dimmed all the lights, but it still created actually a major blackout. The whole building blacked out.
So the system went dark.
The whole theater went dark, and I do have a picture of the fuse box that I'd like to submit, please. And if I may, Your Honor, I want to draw your attention not so much to the fuses themselves. There's, I believe, about 8 of them broken. But if you look at the conduit running into the fuse box, you'll see that it is no way up to code. It looks like something like gauze or shoelaces wrapped around the conduit. And again, that is out of my purview of expertise. I am not licensed, bonded, or any way in whatsoever to fix a fuse box or to change out a fuse box.
I get that.
Coming up.
I feel it's not fair or just that I am responsible for the damages, and the onus and responsibility was on Mr. McCall to ensure that he's following proper electrical protocols for the show.
You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Adam Chen, who is suing Tom McCall for negligence.
So now, what happened is that this affected the production. So tell me exactly what you're suing him for.
Correct. So during the dress rehearsal prior to opening night, there was a total blackout of the whole theater, resulting in damage to the fuse box. My contract with the theater as the producer makes me liable for damages during the show. I tried to seek relief by interacting with the theater's insurance company.
Right, because you know that was going to be my question.
Yes. The problem is that the theater has not maintained their lights for the past 15 years, which is required by the insurance policy.
Oh my goodness.
So because of the theater or the defendant's negligence, I'm responsible for paying $3,000 out of pocket. Because of this—
To do what? What is that $3,000 for?
To repair the fuse box and the electrical systems of the theater. And this was catastrophic for our show. So we had to delay our opening night by a week. Lots of angry fans, people put on hold, and vendors. Here's some evidence.
Let me see that.
It's the invoice, which I had to pay $3,000 out of pocket for. It was a rush job for electricians to come into town and quickly fix the electrical in time for our delayed show. You can see the repair records of the theater, which have not been maintained. I feel it's not fair or just that I am responsible for the damages, and the onus and responsibility was on Mr. McCall to ensure that he's following proper electrical protocols for the show.
Judge Hatchett's verdict when we return. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
I love the fact that this is exactly what you're doing with your energy. But Tom is not the person that ought to be being sued in this situation. The theater has not been up to code. They don't have insurance. Their insurance lapsed because they haven't done what they're supposed to do. And your recourse legally is not against him, not against McCall here in my courtroom today, but it is rather against the theater that created what was really an unsafe situation, right? And for those reasons, I am going to deny your claim today. But this is in no way any commentary on the fact that you need to keep doing what you're doing. Nothing further, we'll stand adjourned.
Thank you.
All rise.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I'm inspired by the judge, and I will continue to bring arts to the people of Montana.
I think this is about his impugning my reputation.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.